Hello everyone, this is TailsFan109 and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. The Triforce parts are resonating. They're combining into one again. The two Triforce parts I could not capture on that day 7 years ago. I didn't expect they would be hidden within you two. And now, finally, all the Triforce parts have gathered here. These toys are too much for you. I command you to return them to me!
Link! I can't help you! Because of the waves of darkness, I can't get close! I'm sorry, Link!
Great King of Evil Ganondorf, the final battle, and we cannot Z-target. So the best thing you could really do right now is stay here. In the beginning of the battle, he mainly just does a game of tennis with you, and that does 3 hearts without the defensive upgrade. So as you saw, he throws the ball, and like with Phantom Gan, you just gotta bounce it back. He also did a punch attack on the ground, in which parts of the floor dropped. If you get too close to him, he will pound the ground and make even more fall. If any of his attacks hit the floor tiles, they will collapse. So once you stun him, you then gotta go in with the Master Sword. No, once you stun him, you then have to use your light arrow to get him down to the ground. And then you go in with your sword. By the way, just a fair warning, even though you can do damage with the big Goron sword, he won't die. The final blow has to be dealt with the Master Sword, or the fight goes on endlessly. I personally recommend doing thrust attacks in a pace like this to get the most amount of damage possible. The more damage he takes, the worse his cape gets. He has about 18 hit points or so. So he has this third attack here where he summons a giant ball, which then he throws at you. You gotta roll away very quickly, or else you'll get hit and part of the ground will break like it did there. There's a little other thing I want to show off. I'm hoping I get the chance. That's fine, just throw your other attack. Yeah, when he... Oh! That's... He usually doesn't randomly do it like that. I'm gonna have to see if he actually does it. Oh, in close proximity. I'll intentionally try to keep him with a little bit of health left to try and show off one other trick. 11, 12, 13, 14. Alright, that's fine. I didn't want to do much more damage than that. I want to see if he'll do his other attack, his giant ball attack. And please. I'm just gonna stay here. Eventually he'll have to do it. Can you block this? Oh, cool, you can. I actually didn't know that. Oh, come on, Ganondorf. Come on, you're wasting my time. Yeah, if he does this attack, you can actually just hit him with a light arrow run there, because he's off guard. A little cool thing. He's almost dead. Oh, okay, it was 19, I guess. He still has health, folks. This ought to be interesting. Up. Ow. Oh, gosh. The last thing you want to do is fall. Last thing you want to do is fall. Gosh! He's being very persistent with that move. I've never seen him use it unless you're up close to... And... Gosh. Well, I tried to show things off and look what happens. So let's admire the music here. It sounds really cool. No! What was that? That's never happened! In all the times I played this game, I have never missed the jump as stupidly as that. Just because my angle was slightly odd. No, you don't. Do not knock this platform down. I really do need it now. What is wrong with me? I can't believe this is happening just because I want to show one thing off. Alright. You can go down there to restock and such, but that's the only reason you should go down there. You don't want to fall. Great evil King Ganondorf, beaten by this kid! Oh my god! What the? That blood's red in the original version of the game. So it's over.
Ganondorf, pitiful man. Without a strong, righteous mind, he cannot control the power of the gods, and...
What's going on?
Link, listen to me! This tower will collapse soon! With his last breath, Ganondorf is trying to crush us in the ruins of the tower! We need to hurry and escape! Please follow me!
This is my favorite part of the game right here. I absolutely love the atmosphere, and with these headphones on, this part of the game gives me so many goosebumps all over. I can feel it on my arms, on my legs, on my head. Oh, it's not that difficult though, but for heaven's sakes, this is the most epic part of the entire franchise right here. To me, no other part of the series comes this close. I mean, just look at this. The whole tower's collapsing. Debris is trying to collapse on you the whole way through. And you've got 3 minutes to escape from the tower. It's a little anticlimactic. If you run out of time, you just get sent back to the top and you do it again. That's it. It's anticlimactic, but that aside, the whole atmosphere to this is amazing. Every time I get to this part, I remember why I love this game so much. The epic feels it gives. And it doesn't feel as forced or anything. It's probably because they didn't have as big of a story to work with. So all they had to do was make a feeling. And not try to convey it through a very dramatic storytelling scene or something. Also, don't fall. That would be bad. Also, every time you get hit, Zelda pauses for a moment, which slows you down. Now, this is the toughest part of the escape sequence because we have to find more Stalfoses. 2 more, hooray. You really don't want to waste any time here. Get these guys down as soon as possible. Why must he stay by the fire rock? I'm worried of what he's going to do. Oh, dang, now I gotta be quick. If he gets back up, it's kind of over. Yep. I just broke his legs.
Thank you, Link. Now let's hurry!
Alright, first. There we go. That's really the big determining factor of if you're gonna make it to the end in time or not. If you can get through that quickly, you are pretty much set. The rest just involves you constantly moving. Don't get too far from Zelda though, or she'll just be waiting for you. I learned that the hard way. I still made it, but really, they give you plenty of time to get through this. Let's just try not to hit any of the falling debris. There we go. Oh, I love this part of the game so much. I love parts of games that really build up a terrific atmosphere. Atmosphere is so important in a game. It really is. The right atmosphere changes everything. And here there is one more redead to slow you down. Honestly, just ignore him. He won't hurt you. There we go. The end is right here. Oof, now imagine if they only gave you 2 minutes to get through this. Then this will be very stressful. But 3 minutes is plenty of time. You might want to use the big orange swords to get this against the stout forces, but again, I played this so many times. Alright, we're out.
It's over. It's finally over. Link, I'm sorry I couldn't help you in the battle before.
Stay back!
What is that sound?
You.
Shoot! There's no way it's going to hold me back again! This time we fight together!
Ganon, the whole setup to that is amazing! It's too bad the battle isn't as much. All you do is roll behind his legs and hit his tail. All he can do is swipe at you. It deals 4 hearts without the defensive upgrade, 2 with. If you need supplies, you can have him smack some of the debris to get stuff like bombs, arrows, even fairies. So, yeah, you should be fine in this fight. If you want to try and go around him, you could hit his face with something to stun him. Light arrows will stun him the longest. But really, once you know you can do this, it is a very disappointing final boss, which is a pity because look at him, he looks so awesome. And the fact that you can hardly see him except for when the lightning flashes, the atmosphere is fantastic. It's just that, okay, this is, even though I prefer this game for Link to the Past, this is where Link to the Past wins points. The final battle was something far more. This has got presentation, but really nothing else. If you have the Bighorn sword, use it in this first part of the fight. Otherwise, I would recommend you use the hammer. This is basically the entire fight right here. You just keep doing this until he's dead. This was very hard when I was younger and I didn't know the tricks.
Link, the Master Sword is here! Hurry up!
But once you know the tricks, there's like nothing to this fight, really. And once again, you can only finish the fight with the Master Sword. I just want to hit his face. Just to see that, because it's cool. So, once you get the Master Sword back, he's faster. The fight's still no different. You're doing the same exact thing as you did before. Again, this boss fight is really cool, but it is a very disappointing final battle when you think of how simple this one really is. Like, the previous 2 bosses, Bongo Bongo and Twin Rova, were far better bosses. Like, Ganondorf's human form was a better fight. They just didn't really give him anything to work with here. It's still very cool, so you're still able to enjoy it somewhat at the very least. And before you know all the tricks, it's actually a very fun and difficult boss. I just know you can roll onto his legs, and that destroys all the challenge.
Huh? I'm using my power to hold the Evil King! You use your sword to deliver the final blow!
Well, let's deliver the final blow. This part does look very cool.
Six Ages! Now!
Ancient creators of Hyrule! Now, open the sealed door and send the evil incarnation of darkness into the void of the evil realm! Curse you, Zelda! Curse you, sages! Curse you, Link! Someday, when this seal is broken,
that is when I will exterminate your descendants! As long as the Triforce power is in my hand. Thank you, Link. Thanks to you, Ganondorf has been sealed inside the evil realm. Thus, peace will once again reign in this world. For a time. All the tragedy that's befallen Hyrule was my doing.
Zelda?
I was so young. I could not comprehend the consequences of trying to control the sacred realm. I dragged you into it too. Now, it is time for me to make up for my mistakes. You must lay the Master Sword to rest and close the door of time. However, by doing this, the road between times will be closed. Link, give the Ocarina to me. As a sage, I can return you to your original time with it.
Sure, Princess.
When peace returns to Hyrule, it'll be time for us to say goodbye. Now, go home, Link. Regain your lost time. Home, where you're supposed to be. The way you're supposed to be.
Princess.
Thank you, Link. Goodbye.
Gives me goosebumps every single time. It's a simple ending, but there's something so powerful about it. Well, that's the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. What a game. No matter how many times I play this, I always enjoy it. The story is simple. It's basically a rehash of A Link to the Past. You wake up from a dream and suddenly realize that you've got this big adventure to go through as you learn from Princess Zelda. You go to collect these 3 items that allow you to gain access to the Master Sword, but as soon as you get it, the bad guy is able to suddenly take control right away. And then you're thrusted into this apocalyptic world where you gotta rescue the 7 sages or maidens to be able to stop Ganon once and for all. It's the same story. They just brought it to 3D, and for the first 3D Zelda game during the beginning of the 3D era, the story still wasn't that important. It's passable. The controls, well, for the first 3D outing, they did a pretty good job. It's not horrendous. It's actually quite good. You can move in any direction quite nicely. The camera works well enough. And using the items is very easy, actually, with the C buttons. The music goes without saying. The music is fantastic. What would these Zelda games be without these soundtracks? They did a fantastic job with the music. Every track is wonderful. I love every bit of it. The graphics for the N64, they're quite good. They're able to get the atmosphere quite right, and that's another thing about this game. It's got some really good atmosphere, and it's very epic without honestly feeling that forced to me. I don't know, I don't cringe with it. And the world, it's not so small that it's boring, but at the same time, it's not so big that you suddenly feel like stopping after a while. The world is like a good enough size to get through the game at a decent time, like just casually play it, because it's not too long, but it's also not too small, I feel like. It's just enough so that you can explore and try and go for everything without it feeling like a chore. Quite frankly, I think this game does hold up quite well. The story is simple, but being the first one that's 3D, you gotta really give it a pass. This was still the beginning. It did a lot for its time, I suppose. I mean, I was a 2000s kid, so I wouldn't know. But this game is just so much fun, and it's got some amazing dungeons like the Forest Temple and the Spirit Temple. And even the Shadow Temple and the Fire Temple are quite good. It's got the Water Temple, which is confusing beyond belief. And the Cave Dungeons, well, Dodongo's Cavern's quite nice. Lord Jabu Jabu can be a little annoying. Deku Tree's basic, but honestly, for the first 3D dungeons, for the most part, they did a good job. I love the mechanics they tried to add with the Adult Link dungeons, and how the beginning of the game kind of eased you in. I like how the beginning of the game is more lighthearted. Some people find it boring, I just find it a little nice way to do it. I like how it just kind of eases you in. I'll be quiet for now. So, what is there left to say about this game? I didn't get into the bosses. This game had some fun bosses that, for a change, were actually kind of challenging at times. Some of those bosses can be a bit difficult the first time. And why this is probably my favorite Zelda game is the world is just big enough so that you could just, like, pick up and play from time to time when you feel like it, and trying to go for everything just generally doesn't feel much like a chore. It's fun. It doesn't take too long. It never feels like a drag. And also, I feel like this was the one Zelda game that felt more epic than the others, specifically with the very last part. With the simple story they had, they were able to get so many feelings out of it. You could tell they put a lot of soul into this one. They just wanted to make a good 3D outing, and for heaven's sakes, they did it. The music and the atmosphere is fantastic, and to me, that is very important. I just enjoy going through every single area of this game, and no matter how many times I play it, there's still this charm to it or something like that. I don't know what it is. It's basic, but at the same time, its execution is just what makes it so much fun. There's nothing wrong with being basic. Maybe that's why I like it so much, because it's done with, like, the basic setup, nothing too fancy or anything, but because they only focus more on the basics of Zelda, they were able to truly well incorporate every single part of the game. So that's The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. My favorite Zelda game, one of my favorite games. I was very glad to come back to this game and finally get to it. I've been wanting to do this ever since I started YouTube. But I want to get through all the other games first, and I did. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed playing it, because for heaven's sakes, it never gets old. It really doesn't. There is one other game that I do like more. I'll get to that some point, maybe next summer, because I'm starting college in 2 weeks. But I'm commuting, so I won't have to give this up, but might be a little busy. So the next game I play is going to be a shorter one. Real short. Maybe only 10 videos or so. We'll see. But until then, till the next video, this has been TailsFan109, and have a nice day.